In 1962, a young Phil Knight stood at a crossroads. Fresh out of Stanford Business School, he had what he called his crazy idea to import high-quality, low-cost running shoes from Japan and sell them in the United States. At the time, the sports shoe market was dominated by German brands, but Knight, fueled by his experiences as a college runner, saw an opportunity. It wasn't just about shoes for him. It was about creating something meaningful, something different. With little more than determination and $50 borrowed from his father, Knight set off on a journey around the world, first landing in Japan to visit Onitsuka, the company that made Tiger's shoes, the brand he believed could take the U.S. market by storm. In a moment of audacious creativity, Knight presented himself as a representative of a company he called Blue Ribbon Sports, though in reality, it was just an idea in his head. His boldness masked his uncertainty as he convinced Onitsuka to let him distribute their Tiger shoes in the U.S. This deal, struck in 1963, would be the beginning of what was to become a sports empire. Knight returned to the U.S. and, from his parents' basement, began selling Tiger shoes out of the trunk of his car at track meets. For years, the business was a one-man operation. It was only in 1964 when Knight convinced his former track coach, Bill Bowerman, to become a partner that Blue Ribbon Sports began to take off. Bowerman, a legendary coach at the University of Oregon, brought both credibility and innovation to the fledgling company. The early years were marked by financial struggles, endless phone calls to Japanese suppliers, and a growing sense that the company could collapse at any moment. But Knight and Bowerman persevered, driven by their belief in the product and their vision for the future of athletics. By 1971, Knight was forced to cut ties with Onitsuka due to growing tensions over distribution rights. In a moment of both desperation and inspiration, he decided to start making his own shoes. The result was the birth of Nike. The name Nike, inspired by the Greek goddess of victory, was suggested by Jeff Johnson, Knight's first employee. Around the same time, they needed a logo. Carolyn Davidson, a young graphic design student, was hired to create it for just 35 Eislers. With a mere $35 fee, Davidson sketched what would become one of the most recognizable logos in the world, the Nike swoosh. At the time, Knight wasn't sold on it, famously stating, "Well, I don't love it, but maybe it will grow on me." Little did he know how symbolic that swoosh would become. With a new name and logo in place, Nike Inc. started gaining momentum. Bill Bowerman continued to innovate, creating the Nike Cortez, a shoe that combined performance and comfort like never before. His experimentation with the waffle sole, a design inspired by his wife's waffle iron, was revolutionary, providing better traction and cushioning for runners. By 1980, Nike had taken the U.S. market by storm, but Knight knew that to truly compete on a global scale, they needed more capital. In December of that year, Nike went public, raising $23 million. The company was no longer just Phil Knight's crazy idea. It was becoming a major player in the global market. One of the most pivotal moments came in 1984 when Nike signed a young rookie basketball player named Michael Jordan. The Air Jordan line of sneakers became a cultural phenomenon, transforming Nike from a running shoe company into a global brand powerhouse. Throughout the 1980s and beyond, Nike continued to innovate and expand globally. The company faced challenges from production issues to public scrutiny over labor practices, but its foundation of innovation and determination, laid by Knight and his team, allowed it to adapt and thrive. Phil Knight's journey from selling shoes out of his car to building Nike into a global empire is a testament to the power of a crazy idea, relentless perseverance, and the courage to take risks. As Knight himself once said, "The cowards never started, and the weak died along the way." That leaves us. Nike's story reminds us that success is built not by avoiding failure, but by using it as fuel to keep moving forward. Just do it.